Hey everyone, it's June, and well, actually, it's last day of February, but you know, I thought, let's play a joke on me. So, I am here on time, which is awesome, but I also feel horrible right now. You can sort of hear in my voice, but if I start sneezing uncontrollably, please forgive me. I've been sniffling and sneezing all day, and it's been really rough, but I just have to say, though, I'm just kind of glad that that it is a virtual kind of class, not an in-person class, because that would be much harder. So forgive the voice and any sneezing we have here, but I think we're still going to have a good time. And I have actually the same design, and I'm going to make 3 cards, okay? At the same time that you make one. Hey, I'm so glad James and Nancy are here. Hopefully we'll have some more. Go ahead and say hi in the comments if you're here. We are going to, you're not here to see me, you're here to hear me maybe and do some fun cards, but not to see me necessarily. So I'm going to flip you down. And hopefully you can see more of the screen, more of the tabletop this time. I think I made some adjustments. Hopefully it'll be better. So, alrighty. So, okay. Oh, I got it. Alright, so here we have the first clue, which hopefully everyone got already. Oh my goodness, I am crooked. Let's see. I do not have any fancy stands here. I made a little sling basically for my camera, my phone here. So, but it should work. All right. So yay, Diane's here. Good. So glad. All right. So the first clue I had posted on my website, and a link on Facebook to get to it. And hopefully you have some of these materials prepared. For once, they did not have any patterned paper. It was all solid colors. So hopefully this wasn't too hard to gather some materials together. So first of all, start with line art. All right, a line art stamp, something that outlines with outlines that you can color in with 3 to 4 colors. All right, so I started out, I'm gonna, like I said, gonna make 3 of them. So one, I'm gonna make the snowman, I don't know, can you see it? And that is from the, let's see, Snowman Season stamp set. So it's this guy. All right, and I'm going to use Let It Snow because Christmas is over right now. And I'm going to use the snow for the stamp down here that it mentioned. So for my second card, I'm going to use Back on Your Feet, which I haven't done in a while. And I'm going to do this turtle guy. And then the last one, I'm going to do Dragonfly Garden and do one of these dragonflies. All right, and you'll see the other things as we go. All right, so I think it's best to start with the image because then you can kind of go with what colors you want to use. For example, this turtle, I didn't want a pink turtle, I wanted a green turtle. So then I chose the colors from there. All right, so color 1, something medium to light. I just realized this kind of broke that rule, but so this was one of my dark ones, so sorry about that. It should still probably hopefully be able to see black ink on it. So I have a 4 by 5.25 inch cardstock, and then I have an ink pad right here, a piece of sponge dauber or blending brush for this color, and which is mostly necessary if you don't have an ink pad or well, you can do the edges, I guess. So, all right, a water painter brush or a marker in this color. So color 2 is your choice, and I made the card base. So this was early evergreen, one of our new in colors. This is another in color. This is Soft Succulent. And then, so I did the card base, I have ink, and then I have ribbon or trim that is about 5/8 inch wide. And I think this is like a hair less than that, but it should work. That's why I said about. Okay, so you can get away with as little as 6 inches. So I actually cut this ahead of time because I knew what the measurement was going to be, but if you wanted to do, this is the maximum amount that you're really going to need. Color 3, your choice. So this would be a highlight color. I should have said accent color because I couldn't think of the word at the time, but hopefully you understood what I was saying. And I might recommend a bright color, maybe black if all your colors, if your other colors are lighter. So I just wanted to have a different, because these are all green. So I have an idea of where I would put this, so saffron on my turtle so that it works out. But I could have done, actually any kind of red would have been nice too, or pink, so because it's across the color wheel from that. Okay, so that's that card. For the snowman one, I decided to do 2 shades of blue, and then my highlight was going to be Calypso Coral, because I wanted something to, and the reason I chose these colors was because I wanted some cool colors, but I also needed something warm, some kind of orangey kind of color for the carrot. Okay, so that's why I picked the colors based on the image. All right, and then for my, what's it called? Dragonfly. Those are going to be some fun colors. I wanted to do, since color 4, your choice may be something in value, similar in value to color 1, or you can do these in color 2 if you want. So if you just wanted to use 3 colors, that's fine. But I wanted to do one of my cards, so that there really were 4 colors to use. So here I have color 4 is oh, so color 4 in the other ones was going to be the same color as the card base, but in this case I have a different color. Okay, so it all works out in the end. All right, and this was what I ended up making the color of the ribbon, and I just realized I could have done a different thing, but anyway, it'll all work out in the end. And I need an ink pad with that, and a brush or marker in that color. And finally, 2.5 inch square cardstock in white or vanilla. Okay, I guess it's not completely finally, because I also need a black ink pad, preferably Memento ink or StazOn, so that we can watercolor. A greeting word stamp up to 2.5 inches wide or 1 inch tall. So I've got that in, most of mine are much smaller than that, but they will definitely fit in that dimension there. And then a stamp. Almost anything is okay to stamp in the background that coordinates with your main art. So I explained a little bit more about that, so you have some choices. I am going to do snowflakes that came in the same set as this one. I'm going to do leaves that did not come in the same set. It came with a different lovely hue, but I thought that would still go okay. And then this last one with the dragonflies, I mentioned one of the options was smaller versions of the same thing. So that's what I got here. Okay. And then adhesive, Stampin' Dimensionals. So adhesive could be glue or double stick tape, or like this one I have a Stampin' Seal. I like that too. Stampin' Dimensionals, if you are familiar with Stampin' Up, you will know that they are basically these foam pop-up type of things. Sometimes other brands are much thicker, but I like these Stampin' Dimensionals. There's also the larger size, like this. Okay, either one's fine. And then scissors to trim the ribbon. So I've got my good sewing scissors here. All right, so that's clue 1. Hopefully you all have your materials together, and we will get started. All right, hey, Julie's here, and Jill, yay! Awesome. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing, well, clue 2 is stamp the white or vanilla cardstock square with your line art stamp and black ink. And then use the water painters or paintbrush and water, or markers to color in this image with the 3 to 4 colors you've chosen. Okay, so I already did stamp 2 of them, and I'm going to stamp this one as with the dragonfly. All right. So I'm going to make mine a little off. Not perfectly symmetrical or anything, but it is bringing your eye down. Okay. And then let's color it. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to use the pale papaya for the edges, and then I also have these color markers. Okay, so I really have a cool, I like the technique anyway. I am using a water painter, which just has the water in the handle, which is great for klutzy people like me. And then I have this stamp pad, one of the new firm foam ones, and you squish it, get some on the lid, and then you can take, you have enough, you pinch it so that the liquid comes out. And I'm going to do the background. All right, hopefully I let this dry long enough. But it basically, I add it where, like around the image, and then I basically let it, like I'm wiping off the brush, okay, so that it fades out, if that makes sense. So this is Memento ink, and it is generally good for watercoloring. Whoops, I think I messed this up. But I should have probably let it dry just a tad bit longer than I did, because it is smearing a tad. But, alright, trying to make this even. Alright, and then I can come around to do this. Try to make it even in the background. You can just outline it with a marker. I wasn't sure I loved the background look. I experimented with this, actually, and I'll show you that in a second. You could put a pattern in the background. One thing that I did was I made like a plaid with my marker. Let's get a little bit more here. All right, almost there. All right, so that makes it look like it's got a little bit of a glow, okay? And I'm gonna kind of make this even compared to that side. So it kind of has a little bit of an edge. All right. Okay, so that took longer than I wanted to, but here is my example of things you could try. You could just take the marker and do some kind of plaid in the background. Makes an interesting look. This I did cross hatching. This is what I was trying to do, and so you could bring it back toward the image. That would work too. All right, so if I took the rest of the markers, I could, the way I'm going to color it, I'm going to do the colors that I have. You just color it the way you want. So I'm making the body rich raspberry, and then I'm going to use the this is fresh freesia, which is another one of the ink colors. I didn't even plan that. I am using a bunch of the ink colors. I'm kind of hit or miss, almost like stripes here, but there's like a little texture on here, and I wanted to mix that up a little bit with the smoky slate, which is a very similar in value, so it's like almost as light or dark as this, if you remember what value means. And I'm actually leaving a little bit of white here and there. Okay, so there's my image for my I want to call it a daffodil. It's so silly. Dragonfly. Okay, for these, so hopefully you're doing yours right now, and hopefully I can do this a little quicker. I'm not doing this quite as quick as I was thinking I was going to, but all right, so I'm going to do his legs, and I usually do the darkest part, and then I kind of try to fade in so it looks like it has some depth when you watercolor. Alright, so I may do this a little quick because I don't want to take up all your time on step 2. Alright, and then, so saffron, probably could have started with that one since it's the lightest one. Alright, oh, didn't clean that as much as I meant to. Alright, I think I'm going to do a little bit of a shadow here at the bottom. And then the evening evergreen. Oh, I think I said early, didn't I? Evening evergreen. All right, let's do this shell. All right, so it's similar, just like a darker version of the soft succulent. All right. So how are we doing? Everybody about ready for step 3? All right, and then, so that's 2 of my cards. I may have done more than I actually needed to here, because I think 2 would have been fine. This one's going to be a combination of watercolors and the, what's it called? Markers. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of blue sky. Just a hint of it. All right, and then I could actually give it a little bit of a shadow. Actually, I should squish this thing again, get some more ink out there. But all right, and then so yep. All right. I'm gonna give him a little blue. And you do 2 shades of blue or blue and coral. I might do that. Okay. Okay. All right, and then a little bit of coral. And I'm just put there. Ooh, I think I need to get a new one. All right, so this one's better. I also had some coffee. You can always tell with that, can't you? All right, they look pretty happy. Okay, so that's, now I have images for all 3 of my cards. All right, so step 3, clue 3. Mount this square onto color 3 square. That you can then use Stampin' Dimensionals or just attach it flat to the color 2 square too. So that's going to be this accent color, so that'll go on that, and this will go on this, and this will go on this. So it'll just bring out a little bit of the color, a little different color. Okay, so this won't take very long at all. We all doing okay? Do let me know if you feel like I'm going way too fast or way too slow. Any other feedback's fine too. Haven't done one of these in a while. I think my last scheduled, or what would have been scheduled because of, as far as patterns go, the 4th Monday of the month turned out to be when I was in Italy, or like the first day back from that. So I ended up not doing it that month, and then next thing you know, it was Christmas, New Year's, and January, and like just flying. So, okay, everyone got 3? Clue 4. Using your 5/8 inch wide ribbon or trim, either cut it into 3 and 5/8 inch long pieces. That's where I did this. Okay. Oh, sorry. I forgot to finish this one. So this one gets mounted onto the next color. So this needs to be onto that one, and this needs to be onto this one. You can lift that up with dimensionals if you want to, or just glue it, or, attach it however you want to attach it. I'm just going to be quick and do it this way. But be my guest if you wanted to use dimensionals or glue. You think I should do one of them in dimensionals? We could try that. I'm going to use the big dimensionals to go quicker. The only bad thing about dimensionals, because we're going to do 2 layers. The next one absolutely has to be dimensionals. So, this is kind of an optional one. I'll just do one like this. All right. Wow, I'm actually in the screen this time. Okay, put this on. And then this one. All right. Okay, now we're talking. Now we're business. Now we're ready for 4. Okay, so now we get to put this trim. If you've cut that, this is going to basically go on the back. So we put the one in the middle, and you can put this across if you want to. You're gonna, or I'm gonna put 3 on here eventually, so I'm just gonna put the glue on. So the one's gonna go in the middle, and you want to try to have the same amount sticking off both sides. All right, and then the other 2 are going to be about 1/8 of an inch different, like off of that, above and below it. And this should be horizontal for this guy, for whatever your picture is. Okay, so make sure you do that before you attach your. So the other, if you didn't have these long pieces, or you want to conserve, which is totally fine, understandable. What you can do, so it should look something like that. What you can do is, here's this. You can cut smaller pieces, like 1-inch pieces. Let's make 6 of them. One more. And then when you put them on the back, you could run it, kind of run it this way actually, because And then put one in the middle, sticking out about 1/4 inch. And then one on the other side of that. Make sense? And then the other one would go below at about 1/8 inch. And all that's going to be hidden, so no one will know. Okay, and I think I'm going to kind of fringe this one a little bit. All right. Just a bit. Might have to trim that. All right. Trim this white stuff. All right. So then that's going to look like that. And finally, one other thing, I did not have the proper color or even close. So what I had was the faux linen ribbon. And what I did was I took my Misty Moonlight ink and my, this was just what I had to do. I didn't tell you you had to do this, but this is one way you could do that, is to start with white and you can add this. Better yet, this gets kind of messy and smeary because it is water-based, and if you have damp hands at all, that can be a problem. But if you have a Stampin' Blends marker, one of those permanent markers, that's even better because you don't have issues with that then. So, all right, so I'm gonna cut some smaller pieces just like that. What you call it? Ooh, got a little light here. I have to make sure. It looks kind of done-y, doesn't it? Made that up word. Okay. So let's do that real quick. Everybody keeping up? Yeah, I don't know. I had some kind of stomach flu the other day, and now I've got a cold or whatever this is, and I wear a mask like every day, all the time. Kind of nuts. Just a sickly person, I guess. I don't know. All right. Try not to sniffle for you. All right. There. Oh, I might want to trim this. There. Okay. So now I have all of those, and we need to, once you've done that, you can definitely attach dimensionals to the back of the piece, particularly where there is no ribbon. So that would be like the corners and the middle, maybe right down the center. Places where you already have dimensionals, if you remember, I had dimensionals in those areas, so I'm going to try to put them directly below it, as close as I can. To go on that ribbon tiny bit. And in the middle. Alright. Alright, and then last one. All good. Alright. This card's coming along fine. We got most of it done already. All right. So that's clue 4. Only a couple more to go. All right, now with the color 1 rectangle, stamp or sponge around the edges with either a stencil or the other related stamp that you have. Stamp lightly or avoid the bottom center part of this rectangle if you arrange it portrait style. So here we have this, and I have the little, I don't know, dragonflies. And I actually didn't get that ink out. With the matching ink, or you could use Versamark. That would work too. Let's see. I'm going to go off the edge here, so I'm going to have something underneath it. So, let's see. Just around the edges. I'm going to avoid the bottom center part here. All right. So, you can also use the, you can, you know, brush the edges. You can make that a little bit sponged on the edges. Your call. But just make sure you leave the bottom part a little less busy. All right, so that's that card. Making leaves on this one. And using the Evening Evergreen. I like how this one's coming out, actually. Should look really nice. Okay. And you can sponge the edges if you want or not, up to you. And then this one, I'm going to do snowflakes using the Balmy Blue. Oh, that's the, no. For some reason I thought there was a fold there, but it wasn't, so. So all the edges, doesn't, you know, you don't have to be solid or anything, but. All right. So we got that done. Clue 5's done. All right, clue 6. Attach the color 1 rectangle to the folded card base and then attach the square focal point with a ribbon that toward the top of this card. I think I added a word there. Oh well, you understand what I'm saying. So that's going to get attached, and then we'll put this on top. Okay. Okay, so you can attach that, and then you can take the dimensionals off of your focal point. Okay, and that's going to go toward the top, so that there's room for, I'm sure you'll figure it out. All right, there's one. Excuse me. All right. So it doesn't matter which way your card base goes. I know the snowman one is going, it opens vertically, and this one's opening sideways. So, and then we will attach this one. Boy, I hope everything's going okay with your cards, and I can't wait to see what they end up being. Obviously, I've got 3 really different versions, but I bet you guys have even more. Maybe I might trim this a little better before I attach it. So. There. Ugh, that satin ribbon, when you trim it, actually has a lot of little sparkly hairs, really fine ones. All right, so there's 2 so far, and then 1 more. Alright, and add this. Yeah. Alright. So, right around there. Okay. So, all right, got that. Got all 3 of my versions. So that's clue 6. So, all right, finally use the black ink to stamp your greeting or word stamp centered on the bottom part of the card under the picture. That's our final step. So here's my black ink, my memento ink, and I'm going to do oh, here. Thank you for your kindness for the dragonfly one, which came in the same stamp set. Sorry. Getting called to sub. Okay, probably should have, feels like that should have been off over a little bit, even though that is centered. Okay, this one's going to be, hope you're back on your feet soon. You could also, this actually would look really nice if you heat embossed what in a white. So, kind of hard to see, but, and then last but not least, let it snow. So you wouldn't necessarily have to use the one that's in the stamp set with it. You could use just like Celebrate or something like that. It wouldn't matter. But that worked out pretty good. So, okay. So those are my 3 versions of this card. Okay. And then here I'm going to show you, there's a couple things. I have a to-do list after this clue 7. So first thing I want to show you, see the card design that inspired me this month. So this is the card design that I started with. I did this back in 2016 at one of my stamp camps in October. So I used a stencil for this one, but I used different things, you know, inspired by what you have. And I did watercolor the basket, and I used this cool burlap ribbon trim. But see how there's like all these different versions of the same thing, and it looks really cool. I hope you like that. All right, so other things you can do to visit, you can visit my website, youcanstamp.com. Can't talk. which maybe you've already done because you've gotten clue number 1. You can check out the online store through the host code box or from the pull-down menu. And here is the, make sure on your demonstrator and use the host code YZ, it's all here, and it's actually on my website too, if your purchase is under $150 if you're buying. But if you're buying over 100, consider joining. Today is the last day that you can get 2 extra free sets if you join during Celebration, and today is the last day of Celebration. So unfortunately, today, you know, that's a little bit of a rush there, but this is the best time of year to join if you are thinking of doing that. So make sure you come back tomorrow to watch my broadcast. I'm going to have some great cards using this Plentiful Plants stamp set and suite. Don't have that to show you yet, but you will, I'm sure, enjoy it. All right. And otherwise, post your mystery card creations under this video on Facebook. I'll give away one of these card samples to one lucky person who posts. So, thank you for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. If you want to take advantage of Celebration, this is it. And otherwise, I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.